Hey Bookaboos, like my last VE Schwab's video mentioned, I got to see her, so let's jump into that video. And spoiler alert, I didn't cry. Hey you guys, so today's the day. Oh, today is finally the day that I get to go see VE Schwab. So in a couple hours, 2 hours or so, I'm gonna be heading out. I've got some audiobooks downloaded. I'm not excited for the drive, but here we are. I've changed my outfit just a little bit, but I've got makeup on now, and I'm ready to go. I'm just gonna grab a quick coffee, and then I'm gonna hit the road, which I'm not too excited for, but I've got some audiobooks, so maybe it might be exciting. So, your girl is an idiot. I had planned this out, or at least I thought I planned this out. So perfect, so good, so to a T. I'm sorry, it is sliding around. I need to buy some Velcro. Whatever. Fucking shit. Anyways, I'm a little bit pissed at myself because I totally fucking forgot that Utah is 1 hour ahead of us. So I totally forgot, and guess who's gonna be fucking late for her event? It's me. So I might only get to go to the signing part. I called them up and she said that they start signing around 7:40, which was what looks like when I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get my book signed, and then I'm gonna go sit in my car and die because I drove all the way there. I didn't even get to hear her speak or anything like that because I'm an idiot and I forgot about the stupid time change because I was like, oh, if I leave at this time it'll be perfect, it'll be good, it'll be golden, I'll make it there just enough time, I'll have a little bit of time to grab some coffee and then head on over. No, I didn't even get to grab some coffee before I even left because I was pulling up the map as I was about to go to Starbucks. Yeah, because I am basic and I don't give a fuck because it's just easy and accessible, you know. And so I was gonna go there, and then I looked at the thing and I was like, it said I was gonna arrive there at 7:40, and I was like, hold up, what the fuck? Oh crap, I gotta slow down just a little bit because there's a cop. Gotta pretend like I'm going the speed limit.
Running miles off right up there. Yo, what time is it? Showtime! Like I say. Showtime. I'm John Lawrence in a place. Do we have 2 faces down Adam, but I'm working on 3. No trade coast won't bother with me, cause I will pout, chicka pout, just cause I'll be playing we on a mission. I'm sad, Lafayette, the Lancelot, other than illusionary sets. I came from the far just to stay bonsoir, cause the king's first is well is the best. Stay well. Tomorrow there'll be more of us, telling the story of tonight. Something they can never take away. Ah, fucking God! Oh my God! I wanna build something that's gonna uplift me. What do you want? The room where it happens. I wanna be in the room where it happens. The room where it happens.
Like the road and me listening to Hamilton, but I don't really have the time to stop and film some B-roll like I had originally planned because I'm already going to be basically an hour late. It's technically 50 minutes late, and so I am barely going to get there in time because your girl is an idiot. I am so disappointed in myself right now. Honestly, this is probably the worst thing is I'm gonna drive all the way there. I'm gonna be driving for like basically 6 hours, and then I'm gonna get there. She's gonna probably sign just a little thing, and I'm gonna have like one awkward moment, and then I'm gonna have to drive back. I'll probably stay and eat dinner, and I'll do a little B-roll there wherever I go eat. I'm sure it won't be too exciting. Probably gonna stop at a Starbucks because this whole way here, all I can think about is coffee. And if I'm gonna drive another 6 hours back, Lord knows that I'm gonna need more coffee because Hamilton alone is not gonna keep me awake. Even though I love Hamilton, but I also do have the Heathers for on the way back. I brought 2 musicals. I listened to a little bit of the Diviners. So far, I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't rave about it so far, but I'm not very far in. I'm maybe like an hour in, not even that, maybe like 30 minutes in. I was just feeling so upset about the fact that I had missed up the times, that I really didn't want to listen to a book, because when I listen to audiobooks, I kind of want my mind to be focused on the storyline rather than focused on other things, and all my mind could honestly think right now is like, why are you such an idiot? You had one chance to meet VE Schwabs and you decided to be this idiot. And so basically what I'm saying is I'm looking forward to the day when we have teleportation. Or like, if any of you have seen Dark Matter, the TV show, they have this cool thing where you're able to go to different locations while still staying in the same spot, because they put a clone out there and the clone basically does anything and then it uploads the memories back to you. And honestly, that would be kind of the ideal situation here. Have a clone, get to see VE Schwabs, have a longer awkward interaction. This is a good note for anybody. Always make sure that you know the time zones of the place you're going if you're going out of state. Always be prepared. So let me turn on the music so you can hear what I'm saying. But so I'm about an hour and a half away, still late, but what are we gonna do about that at this point? I've decided just to let it go. I was really upset about the fact that I wouldn't be able to go to her reading part of the portion of the tour, and I was a little upset about that, and I was really upset. I wasn't a little bit, I was really upset. I just called my mom and I was like crying, and I was like, I am such an idiot for doing this. But I think like being stuck in a car for this amount of time, like I've been in the car for almost around like 5 hours or so, and being in the car this long has given me time to cool down about that. And it's also given me perspective too about the fact that like, hey, I'm just gonna be late, but I still get to meet VE Schwabs, and that is the end goal. The end goal is to be able to meet her, to get my book signed, and to have an awkward moment with her. And we're gonna accomplish those parts of it. And yeah, I am still a little bit sad that I won't get to go to the reading part, but you know what? I'm gonna learn from this, and I'm gonna make sure I always check time zones, and I always am like pre-planning everything so that I'm ready to go. So in about 3 or 4 minutes is when the actual event starts, which is so disappointing because I still have about like 40-ish minutes left of my drive, and man, if only I would have left 40 minutes early. So I finally made it, guys. After 6 long hours, I finally made it, and I'm just in time to get my book signed, so I'm so excited. This will be awesome. Whoa, so excited. Okay guys, so I met her. I managed to not cry, which is a good sign, and I kept the minimum creep down, but they were so nice, and she signed it for me, and she was super cool, and she wanted to make sure that I was home safe because I'm driving back. It was way definitely worth the experience. I was so excited to drive here. Okay, the drive was not the greatest, but I was so excited to meet her. I'm a little sad I didn't get to go to the thing, but it was so worth at least getting my book signed and meeting her. A lot of them were like, whoa, you came this far, and I was just like, yeah, I just really wanted to see you. And so they gave me a lot of cool free stuff. Like, I got these cool pins. They're so cool. I'm gonna wear them like all the time now. I'm just so excited. So the next thing is I probably should eat, since I haven't eaten in a while, and I should get some coffee. I'm going to drive back, you know. Fun things, right? So I got my coffee, woo, and then also I got my Taco Bell because that's just the kind of person I am. I love burritos. But the real exciting news is the fact that I looked at my ETA. Guys, my ETA time says that I'm not gonna get home until like basically 3 in the morning. Basically 3 in the morning.
I see this light and I'm like, oh my gosh, what kind of asshole just sits there and shines his bright lights? And like, come on, common courtesy, right? I was just yelling at the moon, you guys. Your girl was yelling at the moon because it's so bright that I was just like, come on, you guys, get with it, get with the program. And then, you know who's not with the program? It's me. Sorry, my GPS is like, WTF, what are you doing right now? And I'm like, sorry, GPS, I have to get gas. And my mom's freaking out that I'm gonna get murdered. My mom is freaking out because she thinks I'm gonna get murdered because it is 12:30 at night and I'm a girl all by myself. So I mean, she's not totally off basis, I guess, on that front. So she's like, make sure you go to all the places that are well lit. And I'm like, aye, aye, Captain. Aye, mumsy. But the main thing is, so yeah, I was like getting mad at the moon. That's the main point of this whole story is I was getting mad at the moon because I guess you just don't realize how bright the moon is until you're in pitch darkness. Yeah, and so I was getting mad. I was like, moon. I was like, lights, what's going on? What's happening here? And why is it happening? Like, I was just so confused. I was so frustrated because I was like, this asshole has his brights on, and then it was just the moon. I was yelling at the moon. Isn't that lovely when you realize you're an idiot?
So, we've still got like 4 hours left of the drive home. Staying awake, I've got tons of coffee. Don't worry about that. Promise. But I'm listening more to the diviners because I feel more like calmed down now that I've met VE Schwab, Victoria Schwab. But as I'm listening to it, I realized that maybe it was the wrong audio to pick because I'm not like scared or anything, but it's very creepy. And so like I'm sitting out here looking at pitch dark roads, nobody in sight, and and then I'm listening to this man like drag this girl that he just drugged across the ground singing Naughty John, and I'm just like, y'all, that's not cool. But one thing that is nice about driving in the middle of the night is all I have to worry about, honestly, are like these semi-trucks, which kind of is funny because like I am literally the only like non-commercial car out here. Everybody else out here is doing their job, and I'm sure they're just seeing this like little baby car and they're thinking, why is a little baby car just out here, you know, chilling? Why is she here? She or he, because they can't see me. Why is this little person here? But you know, I'm just here for the Schwab. Oh my gosh, you guys. The moment I saw the lights of the city, I just rejoiced. I have about like 25 minutes left of this stupid drive, and I can't wait to just go home and sleep forever. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright, you guys, we did it. We made it. We're back in Nevada. We're actually at my apartment complex right now. I'm really tired. I will have like a full story time of what went on that night, because I know I didn't really say much. I gave like hints and like all that. So me that's not tired, go ahead, take it away. Thank you, tired me. Alright, so we're gonna talk a little bit about my experience on this whole adventure. So let's get into it. The driving experience was, the way there wasn't as bad, except for I was a nervous wreck the whole time. The whole time I was just sitting there and I was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna drive 6 hours there and I'm not gonna get to see VE Schwab's. Even as I was going to pump up the gas, I was sitting there and I was like, come on, hurry, 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 hurry. We gotta pump this gas up. We gotta get it going because I've got things to do. I don't have time for this. And I was looking at the ETA the whole time. I was like, if I could just drive like 90 miles per hour on this 75 road, then I might be able to make it there in time to see her. And I was just honestly a nervous wreck. So when I got there, I was also freaking out a little bit too, because as I was getting there, it's in this really cool kind of like neighborhood area, but I couldn't find parking. And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm here and I'm gonna miss it because I have parking, I can't find parking. Yeah, I was just kind of like, this is the end. I got there and I like basically go up to the front and I'm like, hi, I ordered a book on the phone and blah blah blah, and I need to get this. And he's like, oh, here, did you already go through the line? I was like, I did not go through the line yet. He's like setting me up and I'm just like, sorry, I'm out of breath. I just drove here from Vegas. And he's like, you drove here from Vegas? And I'm like, yep, I drove here. So I get there and I'm like looking out there and all these people are just sitting here because they're waiting in line to get their book signed and all that. And so I go out. So as I'm like walking out, I probably did the most awkward thing, because what do you do when you meet someone from the internet? Like, it's a weird exchange. So I saw Cece from The Problems of Being a Book Nerd. The link for her channel's down below. You should definitely check her out. But I did the most awkward thing. I saw her in my mind. I was like, is it her? And then I just looked at her and I was like, hey, I watched your YouTube videos. And she's like, thanks. And I said, you're welcome. And then I went and sat down. Yeah, my brain was just like, what do you say to, what do you say? Like, it's awkward. Like, I've seen you before, but you probably don't have any idea that I exist, because I have two modes on BookTube. Either I like and I comment on everything you do, or I just ghost mode and I don't do anything. I just silently stalk you from the corners because I'm like, what am I supposed to say? What do I have to contribute to this conversation? And I feel like I should just comment anyways, because with the stuff I do comment on other videos, like, it's shit. It's not great. It's not awesome. So why am I holding myself to such a high standard, you know? So I meet with her, and so then I'm sitting with these other girls. I don't know them. I don't know anybody in Salt Lake City, mind you. I'm sitting here, they're talking, and I'm like, hey, do you guys live here? And they're like, no, we live like 40 minutes away. So they're talking about that and we get talking about it. And so I'm talking to them and I mentioned that I couldn't make it to the actual talk back because I was late and I had driven a bit from there. And they're like, oh, where did you drive from? I was like, just casually, oh, Las Vegas. And then Cece turned around, she's like, I'm sorry, did you just say Las Vegas? And I just want to mention, I have never seen so many people in my life just be like, you drove from Vegas? You drove from Vegas. You drove from Vegas. There was literally like, I felt like in that moment, all I was, the girl who drove from Vegas. That was me, and I was just like, yeah, you know, I just casually did that, and they're like, but you're gonna stay here tonight, and I was like, no, I got work tomorrow, I gotta be back. So, and they're just like, this girl's crazy. And let's be honest, I don't really blame them, because after those girls, they got to have their book signed before me because they were in like Group C, and by the luck of fate and God, I was able to make it in time for my signing because when I got there, they were about to call Group C, and I was in Group D for signing. Somebody is trying to chat me up. So I was talking to Cece for a little while. She is super cool. As I mentioned before, you should definitely check out her channel. It was very cool to meet her in person kind of thing. It's kind of weird because you watch somebody and then when you meet them, you're like, yeah, they're also a person. Not that I didn't think she was a person before, it's just like weird because it's the internet and a lot of your interactions with them are probably typed and not face to face, and like occasionally you'll see their face and then they'll see your face, and it's weird. But I just want to mention though, like before this, like she had no idea of my existence before, because that's the way I roll. But let's get into the meat of the story that everybody actually came here for. So, I'm at VE Schwab, you guys. I'm waiting in line. I have my pile of books. I only brought, a lot of people brought like all their VE Schwab's books with them. I just brought, I'll show you what I brought. These are the two books that I had brought with me to get them signed. These are the two that I brought with me to get them signed, and then I bought this book at there because if you buy a book there, you've got to guarantee the fact that you get to be part of the signing. So I got those. Also, they gave me this free comic, and as you can see, she signed it. So I'm holding it like this, and I'm just like smiling so much, and I'm just like probably way too excited. There's 3 of them with VE Schwab's, her like whole crew and all that, and one of them was standing there to take the photos. I hand the girl my phone, and she says, "You look way too excited," and I'm like, I am super excited. I just drove here from Vegas. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Wait, you just drove here from Vegas?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just got here." And they're like, "You just drove here from Vegas." When it takes me to drive there from Vegas, it takes me about 12 hours. I was like, it only took me about 6 hours. And they're like, "What were you speeding?" I was like, "I only went 5 miles over." Then VE Schwab looks at me and goes, "You just drove here from Vegas?" And I was like, "I just drove here from Vegas." And she's like, "What?" Okay, she didn't do it like that because that's just me. But she's like, "Whoa, that's crazy." And honestly, this moment feels like a blur to me because getting to meet VE Schwab's is honestly like so cool. And I got her to personalize my book. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And then I also got her to personalize this. I've had this since it first came out, and so I got her to personalize that. Let's see, look. Oh, isn't that cool? Isn't that great? And she's like, "I love seeing my books worn and used and loved." And she asked me when I was going to go back. And I told her, "Oh, right after this I'm gonna drive back." And she's like, "You're gonna drive another 6 hours back?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, thank you so much for coming and seeing me." And I was like, "No, this is so great. I love your work." I didn't say I love you because that would have been really awkward, but I was just like, "I really love your writing. I love everything that you write. I've just loved it." And I have all my friends read A Darker Shade of Magic. And she was just the sweetest person, and she asked me if I had any audiobooks to help keep me awake, and I was like, I'm gonna listening to The Diviners. So she's like, "Yeah, that's a good one. It's got a lot. You won't run out of things on that." And I'm like, "No, I already had listened to like the first hour of it." And she's like, "Yeah." And she was just so sweet because she was just like, "Oh my gosh, just be careful when you're driving back." And I swear, she was like the sweetest person. And so I don't know if it was her publicist or her agent or who it was, but afterwards she came up to me and she's like, "Hey, I know you're driving back, but would you mind staying right here? I want to get you a little bit of some swag so that you can take it back with you because you came all this way out there, because you came all the way out here and you're gonna have to go back." And I was like, "Yeah, no, yeah, for sure." Guys, I'm not gonna turn down free swag. And so she comes back and she gives me these Look at these. Aren't these just precious? That's Victor and it's Marcella. Isn't that just great? And I swear I'm gonna probably wear these like all the time. They're gonna be like, what is that for? I'm like, the villain series, you know? After they gave that to me, after she gave that to me, I was like so thankful, and I was about to leave, and then the bookshop was like, you know, they saw me carrying this big lug of like, they saw me carrying these big lugs, and I was about to go, and they're like, hey, will you just wait a moment? We want to give you some like swag because we know that you're about to just drive back. We want to give you some things because we appreciate you driving all the way here, buying one of our books, and you know, and I was like, so cool. And so I waited there again, and let me just tell you, this is not an occurrence that normally happens to me. People don't just give me things. They don't. So the fact that like not only the publisher was like, hey, here we want to give you this, but the bookstore was also like, hey, we want to give you this, and I was like, I guess it pays driving 6 hours to an event that you were late for. So the first thing they gave me was they gave me this book, which is all about their bookshop. Like, isn't that cool? They also gave me a book bag. So the first thing my mom said when she saw this was, great, now you can give me back mine. And I told her, sorry, it still has all my library books in it, so. And then inside this book bag, they gave me this cool little dealio that looks like their little shop. And inside, it's a classics cleaner. Isn't that the coolest thing? Ah! But I think the thing that I was most excited for was I got to meet VE Schwab's. Look at this picture. Guys, I got to meet VE Schwab's. I swear, I thought I was gonna cry, and my voice shook just a little bit, but I kept it under control because I was like, girl, you are not gonna go all crazy fan on this woman. And I didn't, and it was so good. And I think I'm most excited for this book. I can't wait to read it. I wanted to read it, like, obviously when I first got it, but had a stupid like 6-hour drive back, so yeah. I'm just so excited to read it, and I'm so excited that I got to meet VE Schwab's. I'm not a big person on like I need to meet every author that I've ever read, because like obviously some of the authors I've read are dead because they're classic literature, and also there's some people that I like their books but I'm not like, oh, I need to meet them. But I think meeting VE Schwab's was just honestly a really cool experience, and I want to do it again. But next time, 100% for sure, I want to make sure that I know the time zones and that I'm there early enough to actually get to see her talk and experience that. Oh, I know this is very basic, but I got a Utah mug from Starbucks. Look at that. I had a gift certificate that my boss gave me for Starbucks, and I was like, a free mug? Yes, please. I know it's super basic to get the You're Here like collection of Starbucks, but you know what? I honestly don't give a hoot. Like, if you don't like the fact that I get these, then that's on you. I'm not gonna stop, so. I will be doing a review of this. I don't know what kind of review it will be. We will have to see it, because I already have a queue of videos that I am currently working on, so there's that. But you will see one of these ASAP. You guys, in the description down below, tell me if you've met VE Schwab's or you've met an author that you're absolutely in love with. How was that experience? Was it as rushed and as stressful as mine? Was it super exciting? Just tell me all about it in the description below, or just tell me about, like, are you gonna read this? Are you gonna read this? Are you guys gonna read this? I hope the answer to that is yes. But you should probably read the first book in the series so you have an idea what's going on. That's all I've got booked. Don't forget to subscribe to me, and I will see you in the next video.